Hey there, I'm Pranav Savla. I'm a 12th grade student studying at Head Start Educational Academy in Bangalore, and I'm going to talk to you about AI today. So, what do you think AI is? You might be thinking a system that's really smart or something that makes computers smarter, helps you with your Google Maps, so on and so forth, right? Well, you would be right in some senses, except that AI is actually some basic math. So, I'm going to talk to you about AI today and talk to you about how AI exactly works. Look, contrary to belief, AI is actually not very smart. All AI does is through any artificial intelligence system, it's given a lot of data and it figures out patterns through it. For example, if you consider the Google Assistant on your phone, when you say the wake word, right? What actually is happening is that it's got a lot of data about your voice. And so it just recognizes very, very small, minute patterns. And then it's figuring out, oh, this is his voice or her voice or their voice. And this is the voice that I want to use and I should probably activate. That's how that works. Or, for example, if you look at the weather estimation programs or weather estimators on phones. The way these work is they're given billions of parameters of data. They're given a lot of data about the past weather. And so what ends up happening is they just use that and they figure out very, very fine patterns, like maybe patterns between the days and the weather condition, things like that, right? To then predict, to then basically find the next item in the chain of patterns to figure out, okay, is today a rainy day or not? I'm going to show you two programs, and through these programs, I'm going to show you how this works. The first program I want to show you
Command.
is basically called the study hours. The idea is if you give it a score between 1 and 100, like a mark sheet score or something, it will tell you how many hours you have studied, which will be very useful to make sure that you study more. Not just kidding. So, the idea behind this and the way this works is that I've actually given it a very, very big file of data. And the file is just a table. Imagine two columns in this table. One column is the score and another is the study hours. And all it does is it takes this file and it figures out very, very fine patterns between these. And then it gives you a result. So let's actually show this in action. I'm going to run this program. It's called
Hi.
study.py. It's a Python program. It takes a second to load.
Model R score. Confidence. 0.97. Enter score to predict study hours. Or type quit to exit.
Actually, before it asks me, it shows me this data. It tells me that my mean score is 0.16 and my mean confidence is 0.97. What this means is that the program is 97% confident in terms of just whatever predictions it makes. So it's asking me to enter score to predict data. Let's say I get a 70 on 100. I type that in and I hit enter.
Predicted study hours. 6.81. Model confidence. R score. 0.97. Was this prediction correct? YN.
It tells me that it predicts I studied for 6.81 hours. And again, it's 97% confident. Here it asks me whether it was correct or not. This is another part of AI. This is what's called the feedback loop. Essentially, the idea here is that it learns from its mistakes. Think of normal humans. If you bump into something, you learn from your mistake. This was actually not correct. So I'm going to hit N. And now it asks
Enter
me
the correct number of study hours.
I enter the correct number of study hours. So say I enter 7.00.
Data set updated with corrected data sorted by score. Enter score to predict study hours. Or type quit to exit.
And it updates the data set. Now I can type another scores. Let's say 100.
Predicted study hours. 9.17. Model confidence. R score. 0.97. Was this prediction correct? YN.
Okay, this was correct.
Enter score.
Let's say 40.
Predicted study hours. 3.99. Model confidence. R score. 0.97. Was this prediction correct? YN.
This was also
Enter score.
correct. Let's say 20.
Predicted study hours. 2.11. Model confidence. R score. 0.97. Was this prediction correct? YN.
This was also correct.
Enter score.
And let's say 12.
Predicted study hours. 2.20. Model confidence. R score. 0.97. Was this prediction correct?
Oh,
YN.
this was not correct. See, it predicted that I studied more to get a score of 12, which is less than 20. I'm going to hit N
Enter the
for
correct.
no. And I'm going to say 0.50. That's all I studied. And now watch what happens.
Data set updated with corrected data sorted by score. Retraining model with updated data. Model mean square error. 0.25. Model R score. Confidence. 0.96. Model retrained with.
So it was retraining the model and it used all the data to train it again. Now, although it's got more data, its confidence is lower because the mean is higher. Essentially, the entire idea behind this is it's got so many things to consider in terms of its patterns that it's not so confident. So this is the first program. I'm going to
Trace
exit
back.
out of this. But the thing is, because it's predicting based on existing data, it can actually get things wrong as well. And for this, I'm going to try to estimate my age based on how I look.
Estimator pi.
So I'm going to open this program called Age Estimator.
Speech mode.
I'm going to turn off my speech for a bit because this is going to take a while to load. But the idea behind this program is that it takes a shot or a photo of your face and it estimates how old you are. And the way it does this is that it uses patterns. It uses your face shape. If you're a male person, your facial hair. It uses pimples on your face, your hairline, your jawline, such things, right? And it's got a lot of photos of different faces along with their ages. So it measures these patterns along with them, and then it uses that to predict. So what I'm going to do is turn back my speech,
Speech mode. Age estimation.
and it tells me
Age estimation. Press enter to analyze.
press enter to analyze. I'm going to look dead on at my camera and press enter. Now, for you to understand this, you should know that I'm 18 years old. Watch.
The estimated age
Possibly
is
back.
24 years old.
It actually was pretty way off. I am not 24 years old. I'm 18. The reason for it is that I've got, well, a bit of facial hair and a pretty sharp jawline, which is generally associated with people of higher ages.
Age estimation.
Let's try this one more time.
The estimated age is
Possibly back.
27 years old.
It's getting it wrong even now.
Age estimation.
So basically the idea is, I'm going to hit Q to quit
Command
this.
prompt.
The idea is that
See user sample
even
OneDrive desktop
with
project.
patterns, it can get it wrong because it's just making a prediction based on existing data. So at the end, AI is not some revolutionary tech that is really smart. It is just using basic math. And the interesting thing is it's actually doing what our brains are already trained to do. And you can see this being used in so many other places. So now the next time you unlock your phone with your face or fingerprint, or you ask the Google Assistant for some information, or you use Google Maps, you will now probably get to know how it works. And this is good to know because once it gets it wrong, you can actually figure out why it's gone wrong.